In this explainer, we're going to break down these 7 silent killers that literally wreck your chances of doing well, and more importantly, we're going to uncover the actionable steps for personal growth to actually cure them.
Think of this explainer as your personal diagnostic chart. We're going to cover the threat to your success, paralysis, which includes indifference and indecision, fear, looking at doubt and worry, timidity and the overcaution trap, toxicity, diving into pessimism and complaining, and finally, winning the mental war.
Section 1. The threat to your success. We're taking a clinical look right now at how these deadly infections destroy all the good things you start if you aren't wise and extremely careful.
Section 2. Paralysis. Let's explore our first thematic cluster, looking at the diseases that just completely freeze our momentum and cause total mental paralysis.
The absolute first disease on our list is indifference. This is, well, it's that classic shrug of the shoulder. The person dealing with this isn't even slightly concerned. They're basically just drifting through life on autopilot. But our source makes a super vivid, powerful point right here. You absolutely cannot drift to the top of the mountain. It just doesn't happen. You've got to get worked up and invested to be any kind of winner.
So, what's the actionable cure for indifference? It's simple. Put everything you've got into everything you do. Step 1, pick a direction. Step 2, pour literally everything into it. And step 3, adjust based on whatever opportunities open up along the way. Don't fall for that massive delusion that you need to wait for a better job before you actually start trying hard. No way. Wherever you are right now, pour it on. You have the power to completely change your momentum today and dramatically accelerate your personal growth.
Moving right along, the next attitude disease is indecision. Now this is pure mental paralysis. The afflicted person is chronically stuck on the fence. They are terrified to make a move because they're always agonizing, what if I get off on the wrong side? And the crazy thing is, the longer you sit there, the more indecision morphs into a full-blown disease.
How do we cure indecision? You just pick a side and go. Honestly, any side will do. It is so much better to actively live one way or the other than to just be stuck in the middle forever. Pick a direction and go with everything you've got. And hey, what if it's the wrong direction? Well, you're going to find out a heck of a lot quicker. A life full of adventure is a life full of decisions. Even the wrong decisions, actually, especially the wrong decisions, give you the precise experience you need to make better ones next time. So embrace the adventure of choosing.
Section 3. Fear. This is the devastating plague that can literally drop you to your knees.
Disease number 3 is doubt, and specifically we're talking about self-doubt. It acts like a chronic plague. The chronic excellent self-doubter constantly wrecks their own future by questioning absolutely everything. They doubt if they can do well, they doubt if they'll ever make enough money, they doubt if they can actually accomplish their goals. I mean, just imagine the incredible damage that kind of thinking does to your future over years, or even decades.
The prescription here is straightforward, but it's absolutely profound for your personal growth. You have to turn the coin over. Instead of being a chronic doubter, you got to actively become a believer, especially in yourself. The source highlights that truly understanding your own self-worth, that is the actual, literal beginning of true progress. You have to believe in the value you bring to the table.
And if doubt doesn't get you, well, disease number 4 definitely will, and that's worry. Worry is devastating. It causes health problems, social problems, personal and family problems, the whole shebang. The source actually shares a great personal anecdote about being known as a super worrier instead of a super worrier. If you let worry run rampant long enough, it will literally reduce you to begging.
The cure for worry? You got to give it up entirely. Seriously, who needs it? Now, the source fully admits this isn't easy. Actually, it might take a full, incredibly tough year to kick the worry habit and finally get that monkey off your back. But when you do, man, you discover an incredible life. Notice the nuance here, though. You're going to live free of worry, but not free of challenge or difficulty. Challenges are for sure still going to come, but you'll be able to tackle them without that paralyzing, heavy weight of worry holding you down.
Section 4. Timidity. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it introduces the timid approach to life and starts digging into the language of the poor.
Disease number 5 is overcaution. Yes, being reckless is obviously bad, but being excessively cautious is the totally timid approach to life. It's constantly driven by the paralyzed question of what if this happens? The source actually calls this the language of the poor. They fear risk so much that they just refuse to try at all. But here's the ultimate reality check for you. Life itself is inherently risky. Trying is risky, investing is risky, getting married is risky. You aren't going to get out alive anyway, so hiding from risk is completely futile.
You can either adopt this awesome English attitude of, let's give it a go, or you can demand total safety and security. If you want total safety, sure, you can huddle in a corner securely under a sheet for 100 years, being fed 3 meals a day with absolutely zero risk. But seriously, what a way to live! Don't ask for security, ask for adventure. It is so much better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years completely safe in the corner. Okay, let's move to our next category. Section 5, toxicity. We're moving into the most toxic diseases here. And hey, we are almost through the list.
Disease number 6 is pessimism. This is the deadly disease of always looking for the bad, the problem, and the difficult side of things. The poor pessimist just leads such an ugly life. When they look out a window, they'll completely ignore a beautiful, vibrant sunset just so they can focus entirely on the specks of dirt on the glass. You know the type. This is the person who excitedly rushes up to you with 5 reasons why an idea won't work, completely unaware that they really only need one.
It always comes back to the classic glass half full versus half empty analogy. Why does the exact same measure affect 2 people in completely different ways? Because our lives are affected not by how things actually are, but by how we think they are. The way you choose to look at the situation completely dictates your reality. And here is the 7th and final disease: complaining, crying, whining, griping, and murmuring. If you indulge in this, even slightly, the warning here is incredibly stark. You might as well just forget the future, because the future is definitely going to forget you. If you spend 5 minutes complaining, you have entirely wasted 5 minutes of your life and actively begun to ruin your own potential.
Section 6, winning the mental war. So the crucial point is, how do we actually defend ourselves against all 7 of these killers?
We really have to understand that our mind is like a mental factory. The source shares its amazing anecdote delivered to high schoolers in Danbury, Connecticut. It goes like this: if someone drops sugar in your coffee, you're fine. But what if your worst enemy drops in strychnine, a deadly poison? Well, you're dead. Now, what if your best friend completely by accident drops strychnine in your coffee? Guess what? You're still dead. The lesson here is huge. It doesn't matter who hands you the bad stuff. Whether it's trashy morning news full of tragedies or a well-meaning friend's pessimism, bad ingredients will kill your financial and social fabric regardless of where they come from. You have got to watch your coffee.
And that leads us to this absolutely incredibly powerful piece of advice. Every day stand guard at the door of your mind. You are the one who decides what goes into your mental factory. You cannot dump a barrel of trash into your factory every single morning and then somehow expect to produce a rich, dynamic, positive life. That's literally like trying to bake a delicious cake using cement.
If you don't stand guard, and you just let indecision, worry, pessimism, and complaining stroll right into your factory, the source warns that you will develop an economic cancer of the bone. It's a really shocking phrase, I know, but it perfectly highlights the severe final consequence here. If you aren't careful, you're going to be hauled off into a financial desert where you will literally choke on the dust of your own regret.
We've covered the 7 silent killers that can absolutely destroy the good things you start. The real battle isn't against the economy or bad luck. It is taking place right between your ears. The war is on, folks, mentally, personally, socially, and economically. So I want to leave you with this provocative question to really ponder on your personal growth journey. Are you standing guard at the door of your mind? Are you winning the mental war? Keep evaluating your mental factory, keep pouring it on, and always embrace the adventure.